What are we doing today, JoJo?
Well, currently putting my pants on.
Okay. I hit him perfect. I hit him absolutely perfect.
Running and gunning, and I think that's the only way we can do that.
Big old Maine smallmouth there. Caught it on a drop shot, about 28 foot of water.
The first 15 minutes.
Well, I put my pants on, so that's a start. And then we're gonna go do some scouting on some land that we found that's public access. We're thinking there's gonna be some tree stands out here already. It's an expanded archery, and I need to find some spaces to hunt this year, and Jeff needs to find some new spaces, so we're gonna go see if we can find some stands or find some spots to hunt. Let's do this.
So like Jordan said, we're looking for places that the property that I was bow hunting last year where I killed my spike horn is a great property, and I'm able to manage it and help the landowner in that aspect. But there's not a huge doe population. We can't really go in there and kill whatever we want per se. So we're kind of looking for a spot that might be a little overlooked, hopefully. Maybe be able to get us on some deer so we can at least maybe kill a doe and help us be pickier on shooting that buck. Because we like, if we can, we like to pass up younger deer.
But we also love meat.
Yeah. If we have an empty freezer and it's the end of the year, we're going to shoot whatever presents itself. So
yeah, we'll stop saying that because we say that a lot.
Yeah.
But
so we're going to look around. Main goal today, our deer really migrate to wintering areas like in massive amounts here in Maine. So we're not really looking for deer tracks or trails per se, but we're looking for hunting pressure, and we're looking for rubs, any sign of bucks, any little thing that can give us clues onto a good spot. Or, you know, maybe we get in here and there's 100 stands already and we know, okay, we don't want to be in here and screw this guy up because we don't want him to screw us up. So we'll let you know what we find. This is a pretty good incline that drops down and goes up another ridge on that side. So this bottom, for those of you that don't know this, very inconsistent winds when you're hunting a bottom like that. Even though there might be a lot of deer traffic in it, which in this situation there isn't, but it's also January and this is probably not even close to a deer yard. So get up higher on the ridges. You'll get out of the swirling winds that get created down in those bottoms and the weird thermals that happen. So we're gonna get up on this ridge top. We're in some pretty tall old pines right now. Again, just looking for tree stands, but try to stay out of the bottoms unless you're just walking through still hunting. Jordan's fake aiming at me with a bow, but he'll miss. Get up on the ridges, even if the traffic's really good down there. Try to find those trails that are coming in and out of the bottom. Get up on these ridges, your wind will be a lot more consistent. So update, we just found our first deer track. Again, we know we're not gonna find a ton of deer tracks, but so far, no signs of other hunters. Haven't seen any rubs or any great sign of rut activity in here, which is fine. If it's a bunch of does in here, that's cool with us. But we just found our first deer track coming through this little bottom down here. It's really thick. In September, October, you won't be able to see 10 yards through this stuff with all the leaves and foliage, but a deer track, that's good.
so we marked that. So we just found our first rub back here, which is a huge relief because we've been looking this whole area over and it's just, we haven't seen a single rub. We've seen some tracks, which we're really excited about, but that rub right there gets us even more excited. It is, you know, a year or two old, and then we've got another one back here that's a couple years old, but that means they're in here. And we're not necessarily looking for just bucks, you know, we're looking just for deer sign because our big goal is to get on those does. But if we see a buck and it gets us excited.
So this is what's called a signpost rub. This is really good to see. This isn't something that gets hit a ton, but usually every single year, bucks that cruise by will at least come and sniff it and check it out. And as you can tell, it's starting to get caved in a little bit. It's not a super old one. But this is going to get hit pretty much as long as there's deer in this area. This will at least get some attention from a buck. There's a really good deer trail right behind Jordan here that will show you. And then this signpost is just off of it. There's a bunch of old rubs down through this little bottom. This is starting to get really exciting. I have to poop, I'm so excited. So we just found a really cool spot. If you can look behind me, this has all been dug out by people probably 30 years ago, if you know, 10 to 30 years ago anyway. We found a really nice buck rub up here on the hill. Not seeing a bunch of deer sign, but there were 2 rubs up there. One of them was from last year for sure, and then probably a 2 or 3 year old one. Now I'm kind of getting down into the valley. I'm about to walk through this thick, nasty crap, but this is a spot that looks like it's going to be really tough to hunt, but because of that I feel like there's going to be some big deer out here, and that's kind of what I'm looking for this year. I've never shot anything older than a 1.5-year-old deer with a bow as far as bucks go, so I'd really like to up my game a little bit, but I'm gonna head through this thicket and we'll show you guys if we find anything else cool. So far, a lot of the same stuff.
Oh, we hit something recently.
Missing a bunch of quills.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is pretty exciting, guys. We did find one newer tree stand, one really old tree stand, but they were about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from really where we are liking, which is kind of more in this area, this timber over here. So far we haven't found a stand. That being said, there are some guys that will pull their stands every single year and put them up at the beginning of the year, but right now we're finding a lot of rubs in here. There's an old one right there. There's 2 or 3 back here, and then there's a kind of a nice cut back there. Now come springtime, when we put cameras out here, the telltale sign's going to be, are they daylight active? This is a pretty small chunk of land around a lot of things going on, roads and buildings and stuff, so will they be daylight? Time will tell.
Well guys, we just got back to Jeff's house, and I'll tell you what, for scouting that little spot, I am super happy we went out and checked it, because we are both excited with everything that we found. We found, in the little spot that we're looking at on public land, we were expecting to be tree stands everywhere and people in there. We didn't find a single tree stand. We didn't find any trails that people looked like they use heavily. And we found deer sign galore. And for, what would you say, 6 acres maybe? Maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, for a little, maybe 6 to 8 acre little piece of land, we beyond excited about what we found. So we just got back to the house. Jeff's gonna take a little bathroom break.
Too much excitement.
We're gonna get some food in us, and then we're gonna head out to my hunting area, and we're gonna check some trail cameras, and that should be it for the day.
We're back out. Spot number 2, where Jordan killed his buck. Just going to check his trail cameras. We're racing the sun right now, so there's not going to be a whole lot going on. Finger guns, all right.
They're tearing it up.
Are they? Oh yeah.
It's not a super high traffic area, but hoping that corn, we got a pre-cracked corn, because it's a little late to be putting corn down, so we won't be putting any more.
Full disclaimer on baiting in Maine, the only time you can do it is pretty much through the winter months, once all the seasons are done. So we didn't come out and put anything out until well after the season was out, but
Corn's gone.
corn's gone. 138.
452. That makes me happy. Squirrels, I'm sure, a lot of it. But
Well, it's probably going to be a doe sitting here for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
getting her picture taken all the time. And we're home. We're going to go inside. Forget your binocs. We're going to go inside and look at those cards. How come every time I have the camera out, we get a big vehicle going by?
it's like when we did the skull.
Yeah, but we'll show you guys if we have anything cool.
gonna try to record something while you were gone. It was gonna be funny. No, it's too late. Moment's over. We're in the calm before the storm office now.
Look, guys, we got lights. Remember how terrible our lights were?
Look at that.
2 of them.
Bam.
Bam.
So now our shadows won't be so terrible. Like, ready? Boom. That's way too bright. Go a little soft. There we go. Now we're looking good. Welcome to the office. Computer desks and things.
Look, all my paints came. Remember I said I was getting paints?
Jeff got all his taxidermy paints in.
I had these ones. That's why they're leaky.
They're just paints, though.
Yep. That's it. Good crump of deer coming through, though. That's good.
Digging. That's cool. Looks like the same herd.
Yeah.
There's that moose. We did get it. No box.
1 spike horn in 2 weeks.
Well, the corn worked. Just didn't get to see what we wanted to. Moose was cool. Well, thanks for coming along with us while we went scouting and checked some cameras.
We'll get out on the ice eventually.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.